All right. Welcome back to Currency 365 on Eyes Open Media. Hope you guys are doing great, man. I put out a couple of videos and it's gotten a lot of great feedback and reception. Some of you guys even enjoyed that last video I did on, eating and seeing yourself eat in your dreams and if it's good or bad. And I went over that, and some of you guys messaged me about that. So I'm getting a lot of good feedback about these videos I'm doing. So we're gonna keep it moving, and I'm going to talk about deception of the eyes. Okay, when people are deceived, we've all been there. We've all been in and out of the world. Some of us right now that are listening are going in and out of the world and holiness. Some days maybe you might have a good week of being holy, and then a weekend of being worldly. You're just going back and forth. Some of you guys are every other day you're holy, you're repenting, you're praying, and the next day you're thugging it out. Okay, so you're going through your card, and that's what's called cardly minded, right? And then some of us are holy 99% of the time, okay? And then some of us are wicked. Some of the people that are listening to this are wicked 99% of the time. They're living holy, worldly, So, and they're trying to figure things out. I was in that position as well, right? Most of us were in that position. Not all of us have been holy our whole lives, you know what I mean? Like, I was in the world as well, in my eyes. But what puts us in that position is our eyes, because our eyes are the gateway to everything, right? Our eyes bring the fear, right? The eye sees something, it brings fear, and then it goes into your mind and then to your heart, right? So your eyes is very, very important. Your eyes is one of the most important things because it allows you to see, right? And through that, as you guys can see, I got a picture here that you guys are seeing of the $1. Is this the dollar bill? I'm not sure if this is the $100 or the $1, whatever it is. It's the US currency, right? And as you can see, it has the pyramid, and then it has the eye of horror, right? Right, in the all-seeing eye, and that is key because that is the great deception, right? And they use your eyes to deceive you, just like you use your eyes to deceive yourself as well. So they take paper money, they print it, and then they say this is worth a certain value, but in reality, it's worth nothing. But if they can deceive you with your eyes, and you can see it over and over again, and they say, okay, it's been traded. Okay, I just used $1 bill to buy some ice cream. It must be real. My eyes, you know what I mean? But in reality, it's just paper with printed stuff on it. But they give it value, and they show you that it has value, and you see it with your eyes. So now that currency has value. Okay, so that's called a deception, right? That's how they create value in things. And we do it to ourselves as well, right? When we're living worldly and we're out there acting a fool, we deceive ourselves as well. We like, oh well, I can always come back to God. I can always turn it around. I see this pretty woman over here, or I see this person over here, or I see this event over here. I see this and that, and I can always turn around and do good later, right? I remember growing up thinking that I could be so bad, like, and worldly for until like I hit 99, and then I can go, okay, God, I'm ready to be holy for 1 year and then die at 100. That was my thinking back in the days, and then I realized, when I finished high school, and actually, when my mom passed away, that's when I realized this is not a game. You don't live to 100, and then you don't decide what you're going to do. Okay, you're not gonna play God. You know what I mean? Now, does God allow us to get over on him a lot? Yes, he does, because he's a very, very patient God. But he still looks at the heart at the end of the day. And if your heart isn't right, you can't enter anything. You can't be forgiven of your sins. A lot of people ask for forgiveness of sins, but their heart isn't pure. Their heart isn't clean to ask for forgiveness of those sins. So God cannot forgive you all the way of those sins. So usually when God forgives you of sins, it's partial. And people say, well, I asked for forgiveness. It's good. I'm good. No, it has to be from the heart. and when it's from the heart, He'll forgive you. So yeah, so we use our eyes. It's like a person. It's like you telling a friend, to stop gambling. Gambling is bad. They can't, you tell a friend that's fine because you just planted a seed in them that gambling is bad. That seed, if he doesn't rebuke that seed's going to start to grow, right? So that's good. You know what I mean? So you plant the seed that gambling is bad and it's not of God. Okay. And then, but his eyes doesn't see that. His eyes are deceived and they see that gambling is fun. Gambling can make me some money. Gambling can make me quick money, right? Same thing as people out in the corner selling drugs. They can't see the jail time. They all they see is quick money. Sell these drugs, quick money. Sell these drugs, quick money. You know what I mean? They don't see the punishment behind it because there is a great deception on their eyes. Okay, it's the same thing for all of us struggling with fornication and lust and perversion and all this other stuff that people are doing, right? So that is also a deception on your eyes, right? And you think that because, okay, I can do this, I can fornicate, I can do all this stuff, I can do all this perverted things, and nothing's gonna happen. I'm just having fun, you know what I mean? But really, in reality, you're not having fun. You know what I mean? You're low. It's like it's a depression type of thing that goes on. After it's over, you're more into depression, and it's really people that do all that stuff really on a daily basis are really, really depressed. Okay, it's a really big depression, and it also brings migraines and headaches, and it brings a lot of incubus, succubus demons and all types of destruction to your body. So you know what I mean. And same thing with demonic music that a lot of you guys listen to. A lot of you guys listening to me right now listen to a lot of worldly demonic music, and some of the music you wouldn't even know because your ears are deceived, right? So when you hear music, you're like, that's a great song. And but you don't know the background of it. You don't know how that song was created. You don't know the satanic contracts that was signed to get that song together to make it so wonderful to your ears. Okay, remember, Satan was the great deceiver, right? He was the one in charge of music and all the productions and stuff in Hollywood. Okay, so when you're listening to all that music, all that really good music, but the problem with the music is that it's satanic contracts that create that music. That's the problem, okay? Because some of you guys are going to say, well, there's music back in the 50s from the Beatles and YouTube and Harry Belafonte and all this great music and Michael Jackson that has nothing to do with satanic. I mean, with anything perverted or anything like that. They just speaking and singing and it's beautiful. Yeah, but when you actually go away from the music and actually see how it was created and what type of contracts they sign, it's all satanic. Okay, to be able to put the worldly music out, you have to sign satanic contracts. You got to you got to either take the oath of Baphomet or you got to sign your life away. I mean, how many interviews have you seen people say, "Oh man, I signed a terrible deal"? I mean, just New Edition just did their thing on BET, right? I didn't watch it because I'm not into worldly music. I only listen to holy music. Okay, gospel Christian music. That's all I listen to now. I don't listen to any. I don't know the last time I listened to a hip hop song completely. The what I do is I might make for me personally, if you see a video about me, doing like a Bitcoin, like I did the last song was on Bitcoin, and I was, I put a beat on, an instrumental beat on, and I did my thing over it. That's me. That's me having fun talking about Bitcoin. That, you know what I mean? That's not, I'm not signing any satanic contracts for that, right? I might listen to some instrumentals. You know what I mean? Some local artists, not the satanic contract artists, but producers, but local producers that had no deals, they're independent, and they have their own. And I might listen to some some instrumentals here and there, and then maybe here and there are commercials that have the worldly music in it, and they all YouTube vloggers and things that add a little bit here and there. But that's it. I'm not sitting around listening to worldly music, okay? And because that is the great deception as well, because you think because the music is great and it's positive, that behind the scenes there is satanic contracts that brought that music to life, okay? And that's why God doesn't like us listening to worldly music, okay? Michael Jackson, all I mean, the music is outstanding, but the problem is it's signed in satanic contracts. Okay, so that's the great deception, right? Currency, music, Hollywood, even dancing choreographies. When we watch choreography, we don't know that they have a lot of symbolism in it, hidden symbolisms. I mean, this whole world has is powered by numbers, symbols, and colors, isn't it? And pyramids. Okay, I mean pyramids, symbols, and I guess that pyramid could be a symbol. But symbols, numbers, colors. I mean, the elites use that to deceive the world. Okay, remember they come to kill, steal, and destroy. That's all they do around the world. Okay, and especially in colored countries. I mean, you look at Africa, you look at South America, you look at the Middle East. I mean, they just go in there and they destroy those countries, man, that have colored people in them. And it's crazy because colored people can't see the deception. And I was one of them. I couldn't see the deception as well. I was always thinking, why are colored people so lazy? Why are colored people so poor? Why are colored people this? And why are colored people that? It's because I was under the deception. I had no clue that the elites are the ones that are responsible for making Africa look like Africa, right? Now, of course, there's some parts of Africa that look really nice here, in some areas, but we know what you see in the media is a different Africa, right? And that's the deception as well. Please help me feed these poor kids that with flies all over their faces. And then when you actually go on Instagram or Facebook and you see people that are from Africa, you don't see any of that stuff, right? You see water and beautiful land and animals, and you're like, what is going on? And it's because what the elites want you to think is that colored people can't think for themselves. Colored people need white people's help, right? The elitist help. Colored people are third class citizens. That's why they call them third world countries, right? But that is the deception, right? And that's because the Zionist Jews are the ones who control the media. So the elites, white supremacy elites, and the Zionist Jews get to dictate what comes out on the media. They dictate what comes out in Hollywood, and that is a great deception, because if you go back and do your history, colored people, I don't care if it's Mexicans, Cubans, Africans, blacks, Puerto Ricans, whatever the case is, they are responsible for building America. They created the wealth in America, especially the black slaves through slavery, right? Picking cottons, the cotton industry exploded the American economy. Okay, you got minerals and gold and silver in Africa. I mean, you got inventions by colored people like crazy that was stolen from the elites, right, and then given to other people to make it look like the colored and black people, don't create inventions, don't do anything for themselves. And then even when we had a Black Wall Street and black people were wealthy in America, they burned it down and they destroyed it, with through the air and through fire. So we've seen this. We've seen this over and over again, this scenario. We even have statues in Russia and Europe of black Jesus, you know what I mean? And they're in the monuments. You go around the world, because I've been around the world, and you know what I mean? So if you go to monuments around the world, you'll see black Jesus, and you'll see, you even have priests and Roman Catholics that bow to a black Jesus, to a bronze Jesus. But all the stuff is being hidden if you don't travel, right? And so it's a great deception. And you know, what you do is you pray against that deception on people. When people have deception, all you have to do is just pray against it, and ask God to open their eyes, and He will open their eyes because you're planting that seed. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. Talk to you tomorrow. Eyes open.